Well, howdy, Texas Pond Bass Master here. I'm so glad that you could join us today. I hope you're having a great day. Today I want to talk about maintenance on your bait caster reel. Now this is my favorite Army reel. I have two of these and I love this bait casting reel. But we want to talk about maintenance on your bait caster. Now every bait caster is a little bit different, but they are very similar when it comes to doing the maintenance. So make sure you check your operator and instructor's manual that came with your reel. There may be some subtle differences, but I'm going to talk about the maintenance on this reel, and it should help you out on your reel as well. You want to make sure that you take the reel off the rod, take all the line off the spool, because you're going to have to break this open and lube with that reel oil. You want to lube those internal bearings. So you want to make sure that your bait caster is nice and smooth. It's not grinding, it's not making any noise. Everything's operating properly. So again, every few months you want to make sure you take these apart and clean them up. Now I would not suggest sticking this down in some soapy water trying to get it clean that way. Water does not hurt reels basically because you are out fishing in the water, but I wouldn't suggest just submerging it underwater for cleaning. Get your wet cloth rag and just wipe the outside down to get all the outer stuff off of it, and then we're going to break it down on the inside. So here on the reel, most of the reels have a locking mechanism on them. Some say open and close, some say lock and unlock. It just depends on what you have. So this is open and close. So right now it's in the closed position. So I'm going to take this little switch and I'm going to open it up to the open position. Now what that's going to do is that's going to allow me to take this off, outer cover off, so I can get my spool out and then I can get to my bearings. So once you got it in the open position, you just take this cover and twist it and it comes right off. So once you got this off, this is the internal braking system that I was talking about the other day. When you're casting into the wind and you tighten your internal braking system down with these numbers on the side, these are your internal brakes. But if you look down in there, there is a bearing. So you can put a few drops of that reel oil on that bearing. You can wipe it all down, but put a few drops of oil on that bearing once you've got it cleaned up, and then just set it off to the side. Then what you do is right here, you just grab your spindle here on your spool and you take your spool out. Okay. Now down inside the housing, you can see there is another bearing back there in the back. So you can wipe all this down with a wet cloth, but back there in the back, there's another bearing, and you want to put a few drops of oil back there on that bearing. Once you've got that done, there is another bearing right here on the spool housing, and you want to put a few drops of oil on that bearing. Once you got those three bearings oiled, you want to put it back together. So you just drop this back down inside the housing like that. Then you want to put your outer cover back on like that, and then twist it back into position, and then you want to make sure that you either lock it or close it depending on what it says on the bottom of your reel, and that keeps your braking system side from coming off. Then what I do is I like to turn my reel sideways and work it to get that oil going down in those bearings, and then I flip it up this way, same thing, get it going down in those bearings, and now you got it oiled. Now the last thing you need to oil is the line guide. So on the line guide, there's a worm gear right down in there. I don't know if you can really see it or not. There you can kind of see it in here. So you want to put the line guide all the way to one side, put you a couple drops of oil on that worm gear, roll it all the way to the other side, put you a couple drops of oil over there, and just work this back and forth a few times. Make sure everything's smooth, everything sounds good, no grinding, everything's easy and flawless. So that's how you do maintenance on your bait caster reel. If you like the video, I ask that you give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, I'd ask you to please subscribe. Tell your family and your friends about this channel. This is the Texas Pond Bass Master. Get out there and go fishing. Tight lines, everybody, and we will catch you later.